I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. I received a lot of phone calls and stories about the challenges of marriages in this particular generation. Marriages that have lasted 10, 18, some 5 years. A lot of stories that are not supposed to be heard. And I was reflecting today, and I found out that a lot of people do not understand the primary reason for getting married. Marriage is a willful union. I don't complain about my wife. I only narrate the things that happen between us to educate people to know that a marriage can have challenges, but it can still be sustainable and still be enjoyable. And you can still achieve your dreams within that marriage. So I defined marriage as a willful union between two mutually consenting adults. Two mutually consenting. Two people agreeing together for the purpose of achieving. So there's a purpose, mutually shared ideas and ideals. The mutually shared ideas and ideals must not be such that two of you must agree on what to do. Is that I can appreciate what you want to do, your ideal, and help you actualize it, while you can help me actualize my own ideal, my own objective. I wanted to be a medical doctor very early because I was compelled by my father from about the age of 10, when I was in primary 4, that he wanted me to be a medical doctor. And I was in medical school when I met my wife. I was 21, she was 19. First question I asked her, what do you want to do? She said she wanted to be a teacher. I said, I want to be a doctor. So I want you to read nursing so that you can help me in the hospital and so that we can work in the same place, even before we established our own. So I wrote the application she took to the School of Nursing, the University of Benin Teaching Hospital. She subsequently did midwifery in the Abia State University Teaching Hospital. But her desire to be a teacher is now being fulfilled in her running schools. She derives so much pleasure from doing that. Now, when I traveled recently, somebody dreamt and said that saw my wife complaining. And I told her that I called my wife. She said that she's so happy that I'm fulfilling the dream I shared with her when we were younger. In fact, I called somebody, I told him where I was. He said I told him 25 years back when he met me that I wanted to spend old age traveling all over the world. I don't know whether it's because I love geography so much because of Mr. Bamuza. In fact, I made an A. At one time in class 4, I made the best result in geography in the 4 arms at Government College Ughelli. It's not a mean feat. So She's happy that I'm enjoying my life. So what I wanted to do that I shared with her, and she's enjoying herself doing what she wanted to do. So mutually shared ideas and ideals are that I will let you know what I want out of life. You will let me know what I want out of life. Don't behave this wrong concept that we're taught, and the two shall become one. That means you must always do the things together. It generates too many quarrels if two of you start rubbing against each other, doing what the other one might not like, while the other one likes it. So I don't go out. I don't attend ceremonies. My wife can attend ceremonies. I don't eat in public. She can eat in public. There are some things I can't tolerate. She can tolerate them. So I allow her be herself while I am myself. And so there is sustainability. We are mutually respecting. But we wanted to have a global family. We wanted to be financially independent. That's why we named our eldest son Emuobosan. That is, your personal thing is different from the one owned by all of us. So, because of the things we pass through when we are about to get married. So, Emuobosan. So, financial independence is a goal. Not begging is a goal. Not owing is a goal. Being socially relevant and being a global family were goals. And so those goals are bigger than ourselves. So we'll come to that towards the conclusion. But most people marry because of sexual desire. And the challenge with sexual desire is that you won't know if it is the pleasure of sex that is attracting you to this person or the pleasure of sense. A mumu girl can give you so much sexual pleasure, but she's not going to be suitable for your dreams. A mumu man can be very active on the bed with an inactive brain in the marketplace. Somebody shared a post today that God forgave harlots, but when he wanted to bring his son to this world, he looked for a virgin. So you must be very careful that sexual enticement is not what brings you into a relationship with any person. That's why God does not like premarital sex, so that your brain can be very clear to break an engagement, because a broken engagement is better than a divorce. Sexual relationship with a woman or a man can be very addictive, because when you copulate, dopamine is secreted. You enjoy it. And when you stop, there is a decrease in dopamine that will need another level of high dopamine for you to reach another level of frictional ecstasy. So, sexual satisfaction. But the truth of the matter is that harlots perform very well sexually to satisfy their customers, but they don't love their customers. Because if they love their customers, they won't make profit. The next thing is that people marry for social status. I am married to this, I'm married to a lawyer. I'm married to a doctor. You see, a lot of people in one part of the country, they might not be very schooled. So because they have money, they want to go and marry somebody who has a PhD. And then they will go and get an honorary PhD to match the Dr. Mrs. Apoki he will come with chief doctor, so, Apoki to match the woman. But the honorary one is not in your brain. It's a gown that you are wearing. When the wind blows, tolo yash will open. Your inability to communicate well might start embarrassing the woman in a public place unless you upgrade. So, status. You just marry the daughter of a governor. The daughter of the governor might not have enough home training. She might be a spoiled brat that would not be able to do basic things at home, and she's used to being served, and you might not be able to meet the appetite that she has cultivated. So, social status and social standing. Some might marry thinking that this woman will make him rich, or the man will make her rich, and so that she can get a good social standing. The resultant effect is that the marriage will fail because the pressure, when it comes, the responsibility to sustain it, you don't have. So, it might include being successful in a particular area. You might just marry a music producer because of frequency of relationship, or of communication and contact, and so that he can keep producing your music free, and he will want to marry you to benefit from the music and whatever. But in the long run, conflict will come when you find out that you are being mutually exploitative of each other. We have seen a man who beat his wife, who is a great gospel singer, to death. We've seen situations where if the woman generating most of the money, she will not want to be humble, and the husband will start feeling intimidated, then the thing will degenerate. Then some women and men marry for survival. You just see a rich man. Some people will say, I married him because I needed to uplift my family from poverty. You will find out that you will never be satisfied. You will never be united to that man because you're always looking for what to take home to your people. So your mind is always divided. That's why we are having problems in the United States United States and the UK, of men who brought their wives to the diaspora, and the women reached the diaspora. They started earning more than the men, and then pride came in, disobedience came in, rivalry came into the marriage, and then terrible things happen. And then there are men who married people who are citizens, either people in the diaspora that have had citizenship or papers, and then the ones that married men to get papers. Crisis will eventually break out after some time. So, some also marry because of sustainability. The woman can be in the marriage. If I leave this marriage now, what will I do? If I leave this marriage now, what will happen to me? Once they become financially independent, once the children have finished school, once they don't need the man for anything, their wings will flutter and flap, and the marriage will falter. So, it might be suitability. Some people can marry out of suitability. They suit each other. But you see, suitability without a purpose, a sustainable desire and drive to please God and humanity and productivity, suitability cannot sustain it. Suitability cannot sustain it. That two of us, you like what I like, you know what I like, and all that. As I said in the beginning, unless there is a vision bigger than two of you, bigger than your anger, bigger than your emotion, your desires, bigger than your appetites, bigger than your strengths and weaknesses, you will falter. I don't do adultery not because I have so many journeys to Jerusalem, or I cross the Bermuda Triangle often and often, or it is made readily available to me. It is a singular fact that I respect myself, I respect the young people who look unto me, I respect my audience that listen to me, and I fear God. I respect those who mentored me. I respect my children, and I respect myself. Any scandal will destroy the testimony that God has built in my life over the years. So, marriage between my wife and I is more than suitability. It's more than two of us. It's more than anything I have mentioned. It is more like a calling to fulfill a ministry, a purpose. When you are married to a pastor, being married to a pastor is different from a pastor's wife. You, as a pastor's wife, you midwife the pastor and his ministry towards success, until the successes of our pursuit of purpose become the primary reason for being married, remaining married. Every other thing I've mentioned will collapse. That's why you are seeing people in old age, they will discover that they are married to somebody totally different from the person they dated. It's the same human being, but the pursuit has changed. Sometimes you just see our wives doing things for us because of sustainability. They need our being alive, they need our resources, they need our connections, they need our influence, they need our status to continue enjoying what they're enjoying. It even includes our children. We are finding something very strange. Children are disrespecting their parents, taking their parents to court, even doing terrible things to particularly the males, the men. We are gradually becoming an endangered species unless even our children key into the vision, the purpose that is going to be their legacy that they will inherit. Pa Elton came to Nigeria with his wife. He stayed in Elisha. The daughter has continued the ministry, and she's still in Nigeria. Despite all the things that are happening, we are complaining. These people that came from the UK or wherever they came from are still pursuing what made them to get married and why they are here. I hope this message blesses you. I'm your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. We have land for sale. We have books for sale. I just brought out a new book. Let me have it. I just brought out a new book, Running an Effective Ministry in a Complex World. I'm going to use it to address thousands of Anglican priests at Owerri. You can order this book, talk about buy land from us, and other books. Some of these books are in the UK, and you can order online. Subscribe to this channel. I have another channel, Dr. Charles Apoki Extra, where we review our books, we do podcasts. Follow us on Facebook, and we have a mentorship class, webinar that comes up monthly, and we do counseling. paid counseling. Contact the administrative assistant to Dr. Apoki on +234 80 21 21 to book for an appointment or ask for assistance. God bless you. The number again is +234 80 21 21 92 62. Very simple to remember. God bless you.